Hi, my name is Caitlin Clark, and what I will be talking about today is a hyperextension movement within the spine during a gymnastics routine. I will be explaining this movement with Chapter 2 in the textbook. Chapter 2 discusses kinematics and dynamics of rigid body movements, and kinetics is a description of the particular motion. A hyperextension is an excessive joint movement in which the particular joints are being pushed beyond its normal range of motion. In this particular routine, the gymnast is doing back walkovers into a back handspring. The hyperextension in this movement is within the posterior alignment of the thoracic and lumbar spine. As the gymnast begins her back walkover, she does a backwards bend in a curvilinear translation because all of the points in her body are moving in the same backwards direction but along a curved line. The gymnast then uses an angular motion with her lower extremity to push off from the normal contact force of the ground and against gravity to flip back over. Another factor that plays a role in allowing the gymnast to flip over is by overcoming Newton's first law of motion and using an impulse to increase momentum from her rectus abdominis and external oblique muscles. Those muscles are also acting as agonist muscles against the latissimus dorsi to help her back stay in a curved position. The lever system that is being used is the first class lever because her lower extremity, which is the load being moved, is doing the pushing off the ground, and her rectus abdominis is doing the pulling, which is the effort force, and this lever is acting along the collinear forces of the body and pivot point, since the body is moving in the same line of action. The only friction forces that are acting upon the body is normal contact forces from her hands and feet touching the ground. The internal forces that act within the body are from the hyperextension of the thoracic spine, since both ends of the body are in contact with the ground and are causing a pushing force on the internal object, which is the spine, and the spine is undergoing a compressive force. The external forces that are acting upon the thoracic spine is the natural gravity that is pushing down on the center of the body. The body stability is decently high due to the motion being based around the gymnast's center of gravity. The quantitative elements described in this motion occur with the angle of hyperextension within the thoracic spine. If the gymnast doesn't hyperextend her thoracic spine enough to a certain degree, then she will be unable to rotate back over. If the gymnast does not hyperextend to a certain angle with her lumbar vertebrae into her hip joint, she will not be able to exert enough force to flip over as well, creating an unstable movement. The qualitative elements in this hyperextension movement is to describe to the gymnast the correct way to efficiently do a back walkover into a back handspring without creating hyperextension injury. The gymnast could then observe a professional gymnast doing the same movements and model what the professional gymnast is doing. Then, the gymnast could evaluate the movements down into the specific angle to get a more efficient rotation movement. The gymnast should then be instructed how she should efficiently perform her thoracic and lumbar vertebrae hyperextension.
Do you know how we're supposed to submit this stuff?
No idea. I saw his thing and I was like,
Thank you. That is all I have for today.